Hello and welcome back to the Finding Your Feet podcast, a podcast show dedicated to helping you get close to your true authentic self by helping you find your feet in life. Welcome back to episode 92.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Hope you're doing well. This is our last episode for the month of August. We are taking a 2-week holiday, summer holiday. We're not actually going anywhere away, but we're taking 2 weeks off uploading the podcast. And we are back on the 1st of September to start the new school term, Wednesday, 1st of September. So don't miss us too much. We are going to be on Instagram every day anyway. So make sure you come and follow us on there at Finding Your Feet Podcast, that you stay in touch with us. We are going to take 2 weeks off uploading, so don't miss us too much.
Yeah, we're making it a thing. A new self-development school term starts 1st of September.
Yeah, so this is 2 weeks off self-development, so everyone go out and go crazy, self-sabotage everything, text your ex, ruin your life, and then come back on the 1st of September and we'll reconvene and arrange everyone's lives back in order.
It's like they're all fun and games.
So yeah, don't miss us too much. We are going to take a 2-week break, but we're just ending our summer school term with an episode all about being single, because we've never spoken about this before. And being single, people like never actually want to be single. Like, it's always given a bad rap, you know, and there's so much pressure for you to not be single, especially girls. Like, so much of like, you're defined so much by your like relationship status and stuff like that. So we're talking about being single and all the benefits of it, all the fabulousness about it, so that just to give singletons and the single life out there a bit more of like a positive light, because people always wish their way out of being single, rather than just like, look, you are single, so why not just make the most of it? So we're going to talk about how like you can make the most of it and like why it's fun, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it's never really talked about in a positive light, especially recently. We've been talking a lot more about relationships because it's really fun to talk about.
So interesting.
Yeah, and like finding that love that you desire and becoming the person you want to be, but also it's fun to talk about how fun being single is.
Yeah.
And what you can get from it.
Yeah, and actually like being single, if you like, you know, use your time wisely whilst you're being single, it can be really good like stepping stone to the relationship you actually want. Like, because you can do so much self-love work, so much like, you know, work on you, so that like when you because you attract what you are, so you can, you know, let go of like so much stuff and move into like, do you know what I mean? You know, prepare for your amazing relationship.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like no matter what, when you get into a relationship, like it's just part of the relationship. It's not a bad or a good thing. But when you do, it's not just about you anymore. It's about the dynamic of both of you. And you work for your own stuff, your own triggers, but you also have to take into account who are you with? What are their triggers? Working through stuff together. So regardless of whether it's good or bad, when you're in a relationship, it's not just about you. But when you're single, it is. You can literally be so selfish, like all the time, all the things you want to analyze, all the behaviors. You're just going to focus on yourself. You don't have to take into account anyone, no one's your responsibility. It's like, it's just solely you.
Yes. We were saying before, like everyone has a poop bag with them, right? So you've got a little bag that's got all your shit in it. That's like, you know, maybe some of your childhood trauma, you know, some of your limiting beliefs,
or past relationships,
insecurities, things like that. So you can have quite a big, heavy bag of poop, or maybe you have a small, little, manageable bag of poop. I think we're all always going to have our little poop bags, because that's part of being a human. But when you're single, this is like the perfect opportunity to maybe, you know, look in your bag and maybe throw out some of the poop you don't want anymore. And then when you go into a relationship, you know, if you attract what you are and you've got like a little manageable poop bag, because you've started to meet yourself on a really deep level, you've changed some of your poop to be gold dust and like unicorn powder. So, you know, you will attract someone on that same level, and then you've both got manageable poop bags to hold together in your relationship. Because when you're in a relationship, you are bringing your shit and you've also got someone else's shit to consider.
Yeah, it
Whereas
like
like,
mixes together.
yeah,
Concoction of shit.
yes, and it's obviously you're never not going to have poop. It's the weirdest analogy, but it makes so much sense. You're never not going to have it. So why not, while you're single, just have a little look and see if you still want to carry all that, because you can probably put some of it in the bin.
Yeah, exactly. And the more you get rid of, the better it is when you come to relationships, because you can navigate your own poo and you understand. You understand. Whereas if you don't work on your shit and you're always masking things, jumping from relationship to relationship, and not looking at your own shit,
the bag just gets heavier and heavier and heavier.
And you're going to end up with someone who's got a huge bag of shit too, and it's going to weigh you down so much. It's going to be like a bag of shit on your back.
You literally both can be trudging up a
Drowning in
mountain
shit
with a huge heavy sack of shit on your back, when really you could just be holding hands, skipping through the forest with the tiniest little poop bag, having the most amazing time. So yeah,
What do you want to choose?
What reality do you want to have? When you're single, that is the perfect time to, you know, maybe you want to be in the forest holding hands and skipping with your poop bags, rather than it weighing you down on the trudging up a mountain. So, you know, we have a choice about how we, you know, use our time when we're single. I think being actually single, the way like society is and like talks about it, especially like for women, there's like this idea that you're like left on the shelf, and not that like being single can actually just be a choice. And even just being single in itself, because of the way like society views it, especially for women as they get older and things like that, you can actually form an insecurity just about the fact that you're single. So, you know, you don't want to waste your energy on that. Like, you know, just embrace it and use the time to clear your shit out.
Yeah, exactly. But like so many people will say that, like, oh, why are you single or something?
Yeah.
And it's like, would you ever consider that being single could actually be a choice? Because I do think as well, like people think it's like hard to find a relationship, but I don't agree at all. I think it's it can be so easy to find a relationship. You can fall into anyone's lap, like you really could.
Yeah.
But to
if
find
you really
a healthy one, yeah, exactly. But to find a healthy relationship that you actually want, and to do the work to show up as the person that you want to be in a relationship, that's hard. Like that's the hard
graft.
part. Yeah, and that's why you end up single, because you're working on yourself.
Yes.
And then someone says, well, how are you single? And you think, what the hell? It's like, it's such a stupid question. Like, I think anyone that's kind of self-aware, if anything, you kind of pride people on being single, because you're like, you're working on your stuff.
Yeah.
Not settling.
No, literally, because the way the world is, like with apps and everything, like you could literally, you don't need to leave your house. You can like arrange a date. You could arrange a date with anyone and go full steam ahead and get yourself into a relationship if you really wanted to. And then people might look at you and think, oh, she's in a relationship. But inside the relationship, is it actually good? Is it actually healthy? Is it actually fulfilling? Or is it actually really breaking that person down? Is it stealing their spirit? Is it crushing their soul? Is it taking their energy? You know, so many people that are single look at people in relationships like and just assume that it's all amazing because on Instagram it looks great, but you actually have no idea what's going on the inside. So then you let that make you feel inadequate, when actually, like, you know, that person in a relationship might be looking at you, single, happy and thriving, going to bed at night, hitting your head on the pillow and feeling peace, because you know exactly what's going on. Nothing's going on. You are at peace in your single state, and they might think, God, I wish I had that. I wish I was you. Like, you know, because they might have a headache of a partner. And you just never know. So you just have to, and also like the more that you just embrace being single and like focus on you and like your life and having fun and just enjoying time with your friends and just spending time on your career and figuring out who you are, doing self-work, like all that stuff, the more you're in like a happy vibration, the more you're gonna like attract someone anyway. Because, well, attract someone healthy, that is. Because if you're like getting all down about being single and trying to like rush out being single, that like needy vibration and that lack mentality, and it's just gonna, one, attract the wrong people, and two, make you settle. And I also think that like people feed off your own insecurities, if you know what I mean. Like, you know, when
Mm.
you're insecure about something, I feel like people pick up on that, and then
Yeah, they
like,
can use it against you
yeah,
if they
so if
want
you're
to.
like feeling insecure about the fact that you're single and you're going out into dating with that kind of energy,
Mm.
I think you draw in the wrong kind of people, and they pick up on that, and then like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I do.
Make it a thing when it's not a thing.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it's so true. Like, you never, ever know what is going on in a relationship. And it comes back to that thing of like, everything that I feel what looks good gets celebrated. You know, like these
Yeah.
proposals, like the gender reveals, all that. It's all over social media. All the pretty stuff is what gets celebrated. Like, pregnancies, everything. You congratulate everyone. But the actual hard work, the actual stuff that makes your life fulfilling, like the nights that you spend journaling, the
Mm.
crying sessions when you're going through something, the times when you have to pick yourself up, the times when you contact your friends and you're like, I need help. No one sees that. No one celebrates that. Or therapy, for example, like working on your
Whoop whoop
shit.
therapy.
Yeah, it's not celebrated because no one sees that. But that is like, that's to me, that's the real milestones. And
Yeah.
that's like that beautiful part of Persia's book. Persia Lawson, who we interviewed on our last episode, she has like a little chapter in a book called Celebrating. She says like the best thing that happened in her life, it wasn't so much meeting the love of her life. It was the stuff she did before to meet him.
Yeah.
But nobody was celebrating her. Nobody was saying, "Woo, Persia, you go,
Yeah.
congratulations."
Overcoming your self-sabotaging
Yeah.
behaviors and
No one was
limiting
saying that.
beliefs and
But you got to clap for yourself in those moments because that's the bits that, well, obviously people don't really see it, but as well, even if they did, it's not glamorous, it's not pretty, it's not what everyone wants to see.
You can't post it on social media and get, you know,
like
likes and validation
yeah,
for it.
But that is human, like that's real life, and I feel like everyone should remind themselves to celebrate those wins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like literally, like being single is the perfect time to dive deep into all your stuff. So like, go to therapy, spend your evenings, you know, journaling, be introspective with yourself. And like, as Lisa said, the other relationship coach we had on, the Irish lady, she lives in my head rent free. Like, I hear her voice all the time and the things she said in that episode. Like, but she said, figure out your shit. Figure out your shit. That is what she said. And it's so true, because then you like don't bring that to a relationship in the future. And like, when you're single, that's the perfect time to figure out your shit. Like, what are your beliefs? What are your patterns? Like, of like, what holds you back? What you know, let go of that, release that. Like, because when you're not single, you're like distracted by someone else. And also, right, sometimes when you're single, and obviously like some people find that hard because they feel like alone and like they don't know how to validate themselves, so it feels difficult to not have someone else validating you. But actually, I think sometimes when you're single and you get put in that position where you have no choice but to validate you, or like to deepen your relationship with yourself so that you don't feel like lonely or whatever, is I feel like sometimes, like, you know, life just puts you in that situation because like you need to learn that skill. Like, so don't like fight it and like force your way out of not being, of like trying to get into a relationship. Like, being single is the perfect time to do it. I think sometimes it's the only opportunity you get to really truly do that, because you've got no one else, like, other than like you've got friends, family and stuff like that, but it's you and you in like a relationship. I mean, it's you and you in a relationship even when you are in one too. Like, you still have to obviously like keep as your one like whole person on your own, as well as obviously like being in a nice relationship. But you know, you have to like really be alone to like learn that. Like, that is where you like really build your foundation of self-love. And I'm not saying like, oh, if you're in a relationship you cannot do any self-work and you can't like do self-love stuff, but it's just a lot easier to do it when you are single, because there's no one else like kind of distracting you. So I think like when you do that, and then when you do go into a relationship, if you've already built that strong foundation of like self-love and self-respect, then you've got something really strong to build on top of with like your partner. And also, like, if you have that strong foundation within you, the partner you're going to attract and like tolerate dating is going to be much more high quality than if you had never done that work, because you would be going for somebody else, because you wouldn't have that self-love and self-respect built into you, so you wouldn't, and you just wouldn't you would just go for someone who didn't have self-love and self-respect within themselves.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like that really feeds into kind of like what you said there about like having your own back. Because I feel like in a relationship dynamic, you can almost like rely on them a lot for your like your feelings. And like say you've
Yeah.
had like a bad day or something's happened, like it's a very different kind of bond. You know, like say if I had a bad day and I contact you and I'm like, oh my god, great, it's feeling shit, and you'd like confide in me or like you'd help me and stuff. But I feel like in a relationship it's a very different dynamic, and before you know it, you can become very dependent on it. So I think spending time single and knowing that you have your own back, like truly, truly from day one, like all there really is you. I think that is so, so important to really like build that muscle and build that resilience and know that like relationships are beautiful and like that bond and that kind of like relying on someone to give you comfort is beautiful, but knowing that deep, deep inside you have it within you is so important. Like that is definitely something you can only build when you're single and when you're not receiving validation off other people. You know, when you're really truly single and like really relying on yourself. And then as you said, when you get into a relationship, you can work on your stuff. And if things don't work out, at least you know you can hold yourself. Like you can really support yourself. And I feel like if you do jump from relationship to relationship and always rely on the other person, you know you don't build that. And then when they leave, you crumble.
Yeah, 100%. That's why, like, you know, it's really good to be single. I know that people make it like make you feel like you shouldn't be, and you when you are single, you're like scouting out for the next person or whatever. But there's so much beauty and magic to be found during your single time. And, you know, like you really do discover who you are. Like, what are your morals? What are your values? What's important to you? Like, who are you? Because then once you know, like, all of that and who you are, then you're going to have a clear idea of what you actually want in a partner anyway. So you're going to have a better relationship because you know who you are and what's important to you. So you know what is important for you to have in a partner too. So but you're not going to know that unless you like really do know yourself.
Yeah. That quote that's on our Instagram, I feel like that just kind of represents the whole episode. Like people can only meet you as deeply as you've met yourself.
Yeah, 100%.
Like that. Yeah, that's
so true.
Whatever level you've met yourself on is what you're kind of going into a relationship with. So if you spend that time working on yourself, getting to know yourself deep, deep down, that is what you will attract. And then you can carry on that journey together, which I think is just beautiful.
Yeah, 100%. Because as well, like if you spend time when you're single and like you are meeting yourself deeply, you're like caring for yourself, you're like, you know, really looking after yourself, you take care of your body, you nourish your body, you nourish your mind, all of that, then whoever you're going to go forward and date, they would have to meet you on that level or higher, or it's not going to work because you're not going to go once you've already, this is what I mean, like that foundation of self-love, like once you've already like met yourself on that high level where you take good care of yourself, and it doesn't mean that no one else can take care of you, but where you just are at that like really healthy place within you in everything, mind, body, spirit, soul, everything, then the partner that you will actually be able to draw in and sustain a relationship with will be someone who's met themselves on that same level. So otherwise you just wouldn't vibe because they would like take things from your pie rather than like adding things to your pie. Do you know what I mean? Like, because you just would be like, well, because unless you have low self-worth, which hopefully you don't, and if you do, you know, we can work on that. But like you're not gonna like, what's the word, entertain somebody who is going to just eat at your pie because you're like, I like feed and like grow my pie so much on my own, why are you like eating it? This isn't working for me. You know, you need someone who's going to come and put the cherry on top of your pie. And if you're like spend the time when you're single to like really develop your pie, all these weird analogies, poop bags and pies, then you're going to attract someone who's like on that same baking level as you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, when people always say, like, if you're not adding to my life, there's literally no point. And that's how I feel like in relationships. Like, relationships are an add-on. Like, your self-love journey, it's about going within and realizing, like, you're enough just as you are. And all your peace and happiness truly, truly just come from within. And then anybody else is literally just an add-on. So they've got to be a good add-on. You don't want them to, like, take away, like you said, take away from your pie, because then it's just absolutely pointless.
Yeah, they're eating all your pie and then you're like, I've got nothing left. No, that's not good.
I also think with like being single and breakups and stuff like that is you just have to like fully embrace the journey,
Mm.
because I feel like it can come with a lot of discomfort, especially breakups. But as well, whenever I think of breakups, I always just think of like the breakup glow. Like if someone's going through a
Oh
breakup,
yeah.
then I know it's hard, I know it sucks, but the glow that is going to come from after it is just so transformative.
Mm.
And the fact of the matter is, if you can have the absolute perfect person that you would dream of, like your man or your woman to an absolute T, walk in the door, sit down, and say, okay, this is it for the rest of our lives, you wouldn't even want it.
Yeah.
Like, because it'd be so easy and it
Yeah.
just land in your lap. It's like career stuff. If someone gave you a goal tomorrow and just land in your lap, you'd be like, well, what's the point? You want the chase, you want to learn about yourself, because in that whole process of learning about other people and yourself, like you're learning what kind of life you want.
Yeah.
It's all part of the journey. But I think so easily we can think, oh, I don't want to do this healing work, I don't want to look at my triggers, I don't want to look at like why this is bothering me in a relationship when something else wouldn't. But that is all part of creating the life that you want.
Yeah, 100%. Like, if we all could just get given everything we wanted now, like we wouldn't want it, because it's all about the what did you do to get it that makes it like that more like,
It makes it so much sweeter.
yeah, literally makes it so much more sweeter. And you know, like people like Dr. Joe Dispenza and stuff, and like even like Tony Robbins, like all these people, they all say like, you think about the partner that you want, like maybe you write down the qualities and everything in someone that you want, then you need to focus on becoming that. Because how can you ask for like all these like amazing qualities and like, you know, maybe it's super kind and in touch with their emotions or whatever, like, or has a certain job or something like that, if you aren't on that vibe, like
Yeah.
if you aren't really kind, if you aren't in touch with your emotions, and if you are like,
Or if you're like self-sabotaging, and then you
yeah,
don't want them to do it, but
if
you're
you don't
doing
love
it.
life, why do you want a partner that loves life? Because they aren't going to want to go out with you, you know?
Yeah.
Like you have to become as well what these qualities you want in a partner. You need to become the partner you want to be. And like, yeah, and like building up all those like nice things within yourself, and then you like, it builds your confidence as well, because you know you've got like amazing beautiful things to bring to somebody else, and all of that is done during your single time, as well as obviously just living life, having fun. Obviously you don't spend your whole time being single, like just fucking developing yourself so you can get into a relationship, but it's just the perfect opportunity to do that. But obviously also like, when you're single, it's just the time to just enjoy that like time of being alone, like going out with your friends, having fun, really focusing on your career. Like we have an energy budget like every day of what we can like invest, and you know the ROI on investing in yourself is very fucking high. So, and like your career and things like that, you can spend that time really getting ahead in your career, like jump starting that, and then you get into a beautiful relationship. Then maybe you can like, you know, you've got yourself to a really good position in your career, so you can just, you know, not take your foot off the gas, but kind of relax a little bit more. You can go into cruise control because you've set everything up. You set up your foundations. Then, you know, like there's so many things like that you can just do, and just to blossom your life when you're single. Like just because you're single doesn't mean you can't do things, doesn't mean you're doomed. Like, and as well, like I feel like people wait to go on holiday to certain places and like do certain experiences because they're waiting for a partner to do it with, when you shouldn't do that. You should just go and do it by yourself or with your friends. Like you don't need to, like our society like just favors so much like people in relationships that then even like when you're single you think, oh, I'll do that when I'm in a relationship. I'll go and travel to that place when I've got a partner, blah, blah. Why not go with your bestie?
Yeah.
You'll have a lot of fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Stop waiting to live. Just freaking live.
Yeah. There's actually no point waiting to live. Like, you never know what's around the corner.
Yeah.
As Mo said in that interview, could drop dead before the end of this interview.
Oh my God. Don't tell me that. It's one of the biggest things that you can do during your single time of working on your stuff, you know, looking in your poop bag, is to go to therapy. And I'm going back on the therapy train, guys. I've signed myself back up. I've signed up for BetterHelp therapy. And I've already been, I signed up 2 days ago. I've already been signed a therapist. Got my first appointment in a few days. Absolutely buzzing for this. And people literally think like to go to therapy, the wheels have to have fallen off and you have to be at rock bottom. I'm nowhere near a rock bottom. I am just 25 now. I keep saying that, like, it's like I've just turned 25, like in July, and it's like I've had like some like life shift where I'm like, I'm 25 now, so now I have to do this and think about this and blah blah. Anyway, I've got, this is the third time that I'll be going back to therapy in my life, and I'm 25, and some people like have never even been. And honestly, I literally look at therapy like just getting a personal trainer. Like I just know that as I've got to this stage of my life, there's things that I want. You know, your values change as you get older. Your like goals change as you get older. When I was like 20, all I wanted to do was like literally get out into the world and like start grafting and working and your values change. Then as you grow and evolve through your life, this is why like I think people should just dip in and out of therapy all the time, because as you grow up, what's important to you changes, and what you want to like make happen in your life changes, and you can start to see where actually like you hold yourself back. Like it's like all these, you dust up these other layers of yourself only through age, like through growing older. So then you have to like go back to therapy, because you start to look at things that so like I'm going to go now at 25-year-old Grace is going back to therapy, and she's going to look at very different things than 23-year-old Grace looked at in therapy. And 23-year-old Grace was looking at very, very different things to what 17-year-old Grace was looking at in therapy, you know? So I will probably go again when I'm 27 or 28, or maybe even earlier than that. Who knows? But I'm back on the train. I'm actually I'm so excited. Get on the train. I'm so excited about it. Like, because I just love personal growth and like self-developing and all that stuff. So it's literally just going and having one-on-one attention all on your personal growth. How fun is that?
Exactly.
It'd probably be a bit emotional as well, but you know, I find it exciting thinking about what person you're going to be on the other side of just like a few therapy sessions. You know, it doesn't take a lot. Like you don't need to go for a whole year. You know, you could just go for 3, 4, and you will have such big shifts. But I'm using BetterHelp, and BetterHelp sponsor our podcast. So they're an online therapy company. So I'm just going to do it from home. Just going to chill in my room and talk to my therapist on Zoom, like a video call. And you get to also like message them, like you send them voice messages or just like typing messages like on the app whenever you want, like, and ask them questions. Like that's so amazing. You don't get that with other like therapists usually. Like you just have your time in the session with them once a week, and then that's it. And you don't talk to them again until your next session. Whereas with BetterHelp, you actually get to like keep in touch. Like obviously you can't just have like constant like therapy all week nonstop, but like when you have questions, things coming up, just message them and ask. So you get that as well as your actual one-to-one sessions. So you get to communicate with them, which is amazing. But BetterHelp is so much cheaper as well than traditional like face-to-face counselling. But it's just the same like level of quality. It's just done online. So all the counsellors on there like really highly qualified therapists. Like I filled in like questionnaire about who I am. So it asks you like, you know, are you spiritual? What's your gender? Have you been to therapy before? Ask you like all these questions about like how are you feeling? Blah blah blah. So they can match you up with someone like that is you click like what you want to work on as well, and like then they can match you up with someone who you actually want to work with. So I'm going to go with this therapist, have my session in a few days, and if I don't vibe with this person, because obviously I've only spoken to them on message, we speak like on the phone, if I don't vibe with them, I can change the therapist until I'm like happy, which is also amazing. But we have a discount for you guys. If you want to go to therapy and you want to use BetterHelp, they are giving our listeners a 10% discount off your first month of therapy. So you just pay like a month by month basis. It's like a subscription. So you just pay for 1 month. And then if you want to stop, because that'll be 4 sessions, then you can. That might be enough. The last time I went to therapy, I just had 4 sessions and that was enough. So you don't have to like keep but if you want to keep it going, keep going. But yeah, you get 10% off your first month. And to get this discount, all you need to do is go to betterhelp.com/findyourfeet. That's betterhelp.com/findyourfeet. If you go to that link, which we've left in our show notes, the discount is automatically put onto your account. Fill out the questionnaire. Honestly, takes less than 5 minutes. And then they will set you up with a therapist literally in 48 hours. Literally. And there you go. It's so easy to use. It's so easy to set up and get going. And the service and the quality is amazing. So I'm excited. If you guys want to join me on a BetterHelp therapy journey, then you know where to go. head to the link in our show notes. And if you have any questions about it or any questions about therapy or anything, just message us on Instagram at Find Your Feet Podcast and we'll chat to you about it.
Yeah, I'm excited for you to go back to therapy. I can feel the energy of how
I'm
excited
buzzing
you are.
for it.
And it's so true
I love
that,
it.
like, I really do feel like that's such a good tip as well, to just go to therapy like when you need it. Like, you
Yeah.
can go back. And that's the good thing about BetterHelp as well, is that you're not like locked in. Like, you can go for a month, see how you feel. If you're like, wow, that really helped, actually I've had enough. And then you can leave it for a year, 6 months. And if you're like, actually, I want some help again.
Yeah.
And if you want it at that more affordable price than going to face-to-face therapy, then BetterHelp is an incredible option.
It's literally so cheap. It's like £40 a week. And you get one session a week plus all the like unlimited messaging with the therapist. Like, so.
And what is it in London, like £200 an hour?
Yeah. The therapist that I paid for face-to-face last time when I was 23 was £200 an hour. So, you know, this is bargains, but it's the same level of like quality. They just want to make therapy accessible for like everyone, and like, you know, and if you're on like a lower income, like you can say that and they will like they reduce the price for you because they do want everyone to go for it. So if you're thinking about it, if you're thinking about therapy but you didn't have a clue where to go, honestly, BetterHelp is the perfect place.
I feel like when you're single, it can come with a lot of casual dating and all that fun that comes along with it. What are your thoughts on casual dating?
Casual dating and casual sex, is that what you mean?
Rompy pompy.
Rompy pumpy. Casual dating has become like such a huge part of our like society. I feel like people more like casually date than not. Like people want relationships and stuff, but I feel like because casual dating is so normalized, people are even scared to actually date and say, no, I'm looking for an actual relationship. Like, it's like, yeah, just, you know, chilled vibes, you know, have some fun.
Yeah, like they put up that guard straight away, like, oh, I don't really know what happened. When inside they're like, I want a husband.
Yeah, I think that it's like half the time people engage in it because like everyone else is, and because they're actually scared to like actually claim what they truly want. You know, like even on TikTok, like there's so many like TikToks all about dating and like, but like casual dating and stuff, and it's just so ridden in our culture now, especially in our generation of people. Like obviously like generations above us didn't used to do that. Like it's changed so much. But yeah, I mean, my thoughts on it are I'm not into it because I'm like, I've got an energy budget, and why would I give you some of my energy budget if you're going to be casual? What's the point? I could give it to myself, you know, and get a bigger return on my investment. Like, I think people can become like it just depends on what you want. But me personally, no, because I'm like, you will just distract me from whatever I'm focusing on. And if you're temporary and casual, then what is the point? I'm not going to get anything. I'm not going to get anything back. Like, and it just depends what you're casual dating for, because you might just be doing it for fun, and that's, if that works for you, that works for you. But I'm not going to get anything out of it. Like in terms of like validation, things like that, I can validate myself. Like I've done enough self-love work now to just validate me on my own. Like I don't need somebody else to do it for me.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be gaining anything. Like, and also like, if I really like the person, why would I want it to be casual?
Yeah, that's true.
That would make me sad.
Yeah, like if you see a future with someone, then it wouldn't really be casual anyway. But I think, I feel like it's up to that person. Because I feel like casual dating can be fun, but you have to take into account like if you're doing it for validation or if you generally just think it's fun, or like where's your head at? Because like we said this in previous episodes, like if you're not in the right place when you're dating anyway, you can end up like upset over a guy you don't even like.
Literally.
All
like,
because of just like the process.
No, but literally there's like viral TikToks that go around that are like saying about like you getting upset about a guy that doesn't like you back, but you don't even like them in the first place. You just want them to like you because it's it's going to validate you.
Yeah.
And like that is just like a toxic circle to get yourself in, where the outcome you desire to be validated, you're not going to get it.
No.
like from that. Like you validate yourself, and if you and validation from other people in a relationship is fine. Like it's healthy when like it's like a healthy relationship and like you both mutually respect each other. So like that's when it's like nice, but it's built on your foundation of self-love. So
Yeah.
like so you already love yourself, you already think you're great, and then anybody else thinking you're great is just like a nice little cherry on top of your pie, you know?
Yeah.
So for me, it just doesn't work. But I feel like I'm quite like an old soul, and I have been told that before, in how I just like think about life and stuff. And I just am the way that I like just operate my life. I'm like, if I'm gonna like give energy to something, then it's like important to me. And whether that's like in work, as a friend, and obviously in dating too, if I'm going to give you like energy, then, you know, I like really think something of you and like value whatever. So like casual dating just doesn't work because I'm like that, like you're not getting it back. Not that you give to receive, but it just the way that my mind works, it just doesn't work with my brain.
Yeah, I suppose everyone's different, aren't they? Like I literally take my hat off to people that can actually go on like multiple dates, you know, like in a week, and like go on like different dates.
I'd
Like,
honestly find it so draining.
yeah, exactly. Like I'm literally not judging that at all because I'm sure they're having fun. Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing it. You go have fun. We have one life to live. But I also think that's like a full-time job because there's just so many different energies, so many
Yeah.
different things to read, especially if you're actually trying to find the right one. Like, oh my God, that's a lot. And that can be very, very draining, especially when things don't go your way. Because I feel like, especially with dates, sometimes you can create this idea of how you want it to go. And then if it doesn't, it's like,
Yeah.
anticlimax. Imagine an anticlimax like 5 times a week.
Yeah. Literally. You said something and then realised what you said after you said it.
No, I was being anticlimax in that way, but yeah, as well, casual
Casual.
rompy bompy can lead to 5 anticlimaxes a week as well, which is
Yeah.
not ideal.
I mean, most people go round, like, most people try it because I think, like, casual dating and casual sex, because everybody, like, kind of does it. But I mean, I am here and I want to share my opinion on it because not that many people stand up and say, I'm not into it. I don't like it. Like, and there'll probably be a lot of people out there that don't like it too, but no one's standing up and saying they don't like it because it's not cool to say that. Like, it's cool to be cash. It's cool to be unattached and don't care. Like, that's what our generation like thinks is cool. And obviously, like, it doesn't mean that like when you start dating someone, you're like, so on the first date, do you think we could get married one day? Like, you know, obviously it doesn't mean like you just approach things like that, but it's just, you know, like, honestly, like, I don't even think I could actually keep up with talking to multiple people at the same time.
No,
I just honestly wouldn't be able to. I'd be so
Yeah.
drained. I wouldn't have enough energy. Like, my energy budget is here, and you know, I've got certain percentages of it signed off to things already, and then I'd have some left for whatever dating, and I just wouldn't be able to do it with multiple people. I'd just be like, oh, I'd have a meltdown. It just wouldn't work for me. I just couldn't do it. I mean, hats off to you if you can, and like, no shame. But I mean, my mind, and I am the way I am, and I know there's loads of other people out there that are also like me that would find that draining too. And like, I think that sometimes people, you know, like society and culture and of this casual dating and stuff can like end up questioning like, why am I not like that? Why do I not? Do you know what I mean? And think there's something wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. You just are the way you are. And if you embrace you being you as you are, then you'll attract someone in who is the same. But if you're like trying to, okay, I'll start doing some casual dating, some casual sexing because everybody else is. If that's not authentic to you, then you're not going to be bringing your authenticity to whoever you're dating anyway. So it's not, they're not going to actually be dating you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If that doesn't align with you, you don't need to do it. It's like, it's like, you know, like when you're at school and like peer pressure. You don't need to. It's fine.
Yeah.
You do you, boo.
Yeah, I feel like deep down you know kind of how, well, like how you feel about casual sex and how you feel in your body. And I feel like you do have to listen to your inner voice. So I feel like some people can go ahead with it and enjoy it, and then some people not so much. But yeah, you have to honor your inner voice and also like really listen to your body, because that's what I think is a byproduct of embodiment and breath work and really getting into your body and everything we've been speaking about over the last few months. is the fact that you become much more in touch with your body, and things that
Mm.
may have aligned with you in the past may not so much now. Like,
Yeah.
for example, casual sex. Like, it is
Yeah.
so much more than that. And when you get in touch with, like, I mean, it sounds spiritual, but really when you get in touch with like your soul and your body, like, it's like an energy exchange. It's literally not just sex anymore.
No, 100%. Like, I have never viewed like sex as a casual thing. Like, I've never seen it as that anyway. But even more so now, I'm like, when you think about it, two bodies, like, you're completely naked. So you're in like your rawest form, you know.
Yeah. Your
You ain't
B-Day suit.
you're in your birthday suit. And you've got two bodies literally colliding, you know? Literally.
Friction.
Yeah, you've got two bodies literally joining as well.
Colliding. That's the most romantic way I've ever heard someone describe sex. You've got two bodies in your birthday suits colliding.
Yeah, you literally like two bodies becoming one because you obviously, you know.
Oh, yeah. Actually, isn't it? I thought of it like that. Two bodies becoming one if you had a baby.
Well, yeah, but that's not what I meant. But also, yes, that as well. But as in, like, you know, you're like literally joining physically. I mean, that is the most intimate you could get with another human physically. And that also, the fact that you're that physically intimate and vulnerable, and like I said, it's there, you're there in your rawest form and you're joining together in your rawest forms, colliding physically. Of course, that also brings emotionalness. Like, I just am like, how is it like, and no, I'm going to say there's no shame. Like, if it works for you, then that's what works for you. But it's never been, in my mind, I've never been able to compute it just because that's just not what my soul likes. And it just doesn't work I just can't. So I'm like, there's nothing casual about that act, I think.
Yeah. And I think as well,
There's so much emotions tied into it too. I was like, how, literally, it's like you walking past a stranger in the street, you both like, maybe you do pick people on the street, I don't know, like, but you go, hey, you come with me, let's go collide. And you do that, you're not like strangers anymore. Something's happened. Do you know what I mean? Something's happened. Like, it's like, I just am like, it's so not casual. You've not just gone and shaken hands. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. So I don't like it. Like, and it drains me, like, when it is that way. Because I just think it is such like a physical and emotionally intimate act. And I think that, I don't know, like, there's just different energies that come into having sex. And you want to feel like safe and like relaxed and like you can really let go.
Yeah.
And, you know, enjoy the experience. And you're not going to do that unless you feel like comfortable in that person's presence. Because literally, I'm like, you're colliding bodies. If they don't treat your body with respect, you know, you can end up in situations you don't want to be in and stuff like that. You know, like, do you know what I mean? Like, so I'm like, it's not, for me, it's just, there's nothing casual about it.
Yeah. I feel like as well, like you said, like, towards it's sex, but I feel like there's so much more beyond that, and there's so much more that's happening in the body. Like, you know, like the things about, like, obviously women release oxytocin.
All the hormones and all that come naturally just come out just from that process of even like skin on skin touch. Like, it just happens. It's oxytocin that gets released from.
Yeah, but only women. So the men are like, okay, but we get a release of oxytocin, which is obviously the love hormone. So then I feel like girls can get into situations, or women, where like you might sleep with someone and then you almost like, I've actually done this, where you like almost get angry at yourself for having feelings because you thought you wouldn't. But it's like, that is so natural to us. Like, that's human instinct. Like, that's then we're going to like co-create. Like, that's just like biology. Yeah. But I think like with casual dating, like, it's more push this feeling like, just deny your feelings, deny your emotions, deny your hormones. Like, just stop it, because this is casual.
Yeah, but a lot of it is like you said, natural, tribal. Like, it's biology. It's how we work. Like, because especially like, and this, in like the feminist world we're in now, like, this kind of thing doesn't align, and like people don't like to hear it. But also, it is biology. Like, when women back in the tribal days, they needed whoever they mated with, they had to stay with them, because if they weren't with them, if like they were whatever, not in a relationship, or they weren't in a partnership with and they were like pregnant or something, they like, a woman who's pregnant is much more vulnerable than a woman who's not pregnant, like, because you can't run from a lion when you're 9 months pregnant. Like, you probably can, but like, it's much harder than if you weren't. You're in a more vulnerable state, and you need that like kind of protection and support. And that's like where, like we've said a million times, 95% of our human evolution happened in those kind of days. 5% of our like brain and human evolution happen in the modern world now. And in the modern world now, it's all about the swipey swipe casual dating. So, but like, our like primal tribal brains have not adapted to that. So you like get annoyed, like people get annoyed at themselves for whatever. Like, I think there's like a balance between, yes, you can like sort of latch onto people, and it's coming from like wounds within yourself, and that's when you have to look at yourself and like not do that. But also there is that like literal biological element to it of, there's chemicals being released in your brain, there's attachment styles being turned on. It's all because like you need to stay with that person that you're like mating with, because you like are like obviously you have sex for pleasure as well, but like the function of it is to create new life. So like that's when like whoever made us humans, like
Who did it?
Don't know. When they like created us, like for that's the process of how these humans can make more humans. Like, so naturally, like the biology of it is to then stay around that person that you are mating with. Like, even though like now we've got modern contraception, stuff like that obviously stops you, so you can just relax and have like a nice sex life without worrying that you're going to get pregnant. So, but we didn't used to have that, like, and that's where all our like evolution was in those times. So you've got to like consider that as well. It's like you can't get pissed off with yourself, like developing feelings or whatever for someone from like when you're having like, there's this thing, people keep calling them sneaky links.
What's that?
Like, maybe it's just TikTok thing because I'm spending too much time on TikTok. But people calling it like sneaky links, like text your sneaky link after a night out. So I think it's like, like basically it's like someone that you just like,
sneaky link. Yeah, that makes sense. Someone that like, after a night out, you're like, oh, I need some validation. Hit them up.
I know, but it's like, if you're having fun, go ahead. But what if you be your own sneaky link? Exactly. I feel like that might be more fulfilling for you. But again, you do you if you are enjoying that. Like, no shame. It's just what works for you. And what works for me is not doing any of that.
Yeah. I think as well, having the awareness that, like I said before, like you can change your mind, like listening to your inner voice, like if that works for you, fabulous. And if you're doing that now and you love it, fabulous. Maybe a few years down the line, you might change your opinion on it, and that's fine. Like, one thing we've got to always take into account that you can change your opinion.
100%.
Because I've definitely done that in the past. Like, I've had casual sex, and it's
sneaky links.
Yeah, sneaky links, and it's honestly not bothered me. But now I don't feel like I could, and it's not because I think I'm like a better person or anything like that.
You're just different.
And it's beyond my mind. Like, it's actually beyond my mind. It's to do with embodiment and like the energy, and like my body speaks to me in a way it never used to.
Yeah, because you've opened up that channel within yourself now. And it's so normal. It's so okay to change your mind, and like you grow up, and like you literally you grow through life. Like, you change, you evolve. What does it for you changes.
Yeah, and it might never change, and that's fine as well. Yeah, don't think you're going to get to this destination where you don't.
No, like what you get fulfillment out of like changes. Like seasons. Go with whatever season you're in, and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, I maybe I'm old-fashioned. I don't know.
You're an old soul.
I'm an old soul. But that's what I think about, and I think other people that maybe think that don't go up and say it. Like, because like there's so many podcasts as well that talk about like sneaky links or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, there's such like culture to like
they glamorize the kind of like trauma bonds and stuff like that, especially on TikTok. I see that a lot.
Yeah, but what if you don't? What if you want like something more like real, committed and non-casual, and yeah, I don't know, but I'm just giving a voice to the people out there that maybe think like I do. that where no one else really talks about it on the internet. They should talk about all the casual shit, sneaky linking and all that jazz.
Yeah, exactly. You just have to get aligned on what you truly, truly want and work
Mm.
from there because you will attract what you want. If you want someone that wants soulful sex, you will attract that. You got
Yeah.
to keep that vision.
And like own your desires of what you want and like stand by them. And anyone who, and if you're being authentic with them from the start, anyone who's not aligned with them and isn't going to be able to meet them or give you or it doesn't want the same things as you will just fucking run away
Yeah,
real
exactly. They'll
quick.
run a mile
Because
and do you a favor.
yeah, and like they were going to run away anyway, like later down the line, because you can't like hide what you truly want forever, you know.
Yeah.
And I think like there's so many girls that like, and maybe boys do it too, I don't know, but when like you're dating somebody and then they're like, oh, I just want something cash, and then they're like, oh yeah, me too. And it's like, did you actually want that? But you just did it because you actually like the person. You think, oh well, I'd rather have them casually than not at all. And it's like,
They might change their mind.
no, honey. Yeah, you think you can change their mind, but then like they don't. Like, I don't know. I guess some people can change their mind, but if they're like being kind of emotionally unavailable from the start, they're probably going to continue being emotionally unavailable. And you probably better use of your time is to just move on and find someone emotionally available. Look, this huge planet, there's like 7 billion people on it. You know, there's somebody out there who wants some stuff as you.
100%. So many people. So many people single right now that are working on their shit that will meet you on the level that you want to meet yourself and them.
100%. So wait out for them.
Never ever lose faith.
No. Being single is beautiful.
It is.
There's so many, you know, fall in love with yourself. Being single is the perfect time to do that.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful work. So we're just going to end the episode, our final episode of August for a 2-week holiday with the quote of the week. And the quote is, when nobody else celebrates you, learn to celebrate yourself. When nobody else compliments you, then compliment yourself. It's not up to other people to keep you encouraged. It's up to you. Encouragement should come from the inside.
Yes. Everything from the inside.
So if you're single right now, cheer yourself on, you know, give yourself a pat on the back, you know, acknowledge how far you've come. Celebrate you.
Oh, that's what I was going to
say. But we've got a really exciting announcement, guys. We are bringing back the self-love webinar. How fitting for everything we've just spoken about. Self-love webinar is our most popular out of all the ones we do. Everyone loves it. Everyone loves a bit of self-love.
It was so fun the last one. I loved it.
I love it. I love that workshop because I love self-love. Like, I just think I'm so passionate about it because it's like it's such an important foundation to build within yourself because everything in your life is built upon it. The relationship with yourself, your career, your friends, your relationships, everything, manifesting, everything is built on a strong, everything that you want and like is built on that strong foundation of self-love. Like it's all, you can link back everything to it, even just through like just navigating life's like difficulties when you've like got a lot where you've got that like self-loving relationship with yourself, like self-soothing and calming yourself down and like staying strong, and all that stuff is so much easier when you love yourself and you're like kind and gentle and like supportive with yourself, and you're not like at war with yourself because you don't think you're good enough and you're not enough and you're not perfect, so you need to do this, you need to lose weight, you need to like all these things. Like self-love is just like, I think the biggest lesson that we all need to learn in life to like really be able to easily move through our lives is having that self-love. So if you want to come to our self-love workshop, if you attended before, you can still come because we have updated it. It's revised. It's new. So obviously, like we will still be teaching the things we taught before, but it's all updated with newness added to it. And plus, like I feel like you can just never get enough self-love, like reminders and lessons, and you know. So if you came before, it will still be different. So come back.
We would love to have you back.
We would love to have you back. But yeah, so there's an early bird discount on until the end of August. So you have 2 weeks or 3 weeks, however long left we've got in August when this comes out, or whenever you're listening to it. Basically, you've just got until the end of August to access the early bird discount at $19.99, and then the ticket will go up to full price in September. It is on the 19th of September. We are hosting it live on Zoom, but if you are in like a different country and like time zone wise you can't join us live, it will be recorded, so you can still buy the ticket and you'll just get emailed the replay afterwards so that you can watch it and enjoy it. But yeah, if you want to get it at the early bird ticket price of $19.99, then get your ticket before the end of August to get the discounted price, because then it will be going up to the full price of $24.99. But you know, we're buzzing. Self-love is fab, and we're really excited to bring this workshop back, our most popular one.
Yeah, literally. I feel like self-love absolutely transformed the game for us. Like, we wouldn't
Big
be here without
time.
self-love. And also, like, our first self-love webinar was just sensational. Like, the atmosphere was so electric. And even, like, regardless of what happens in the webinar, like, the energy of it, like, you just go away feeling so good. Like, I always feel like it's a night out, but like a self-development night out on Zoom to make you feel so good. And like, your self-love level will just rise through the roof.
Yes.
And like, what did the girls say last time? Like, one of the girls that came said, this has literally been life-changing. Like, it's the best thing she did all year. Like, honestly, can't wait to bring it back.
Yeah, like everything that like I do in my life is all based around like self-love. Like the choices I make empowered choices that, you know, show myself that I love myself. You know, I'm not an angel. You know, sometimes I do self-sabotage, but then I like get that awareness of it, and then I like bring self-love into the game so I don't judge myself for self-sabotaging, and I move forward with my life. You know, self-love is such a huge part of my life, and it's changed my life and made me, you know, fall in love with me and like realize that I'm enough, and it just, then I can just move through life so much more easily, and it's just beautiful. And I just love to bring that to other people, because it's such an amazing place to get to within yourself. And like it's I was about to say it's so easy, like you have to do things, but it is easy to get there once you know
it's a beautiful
how.
journey.
Yeah, and you know, and so we're going to show you how. We're going to give you the steps. Everything you need is in this workshop. So we can't wait to see you there. But thank you very much for joining us in this episode, and don't miss us too much over the next 2 weeks. It's only 2 weeks. We will be back soon, but keep in touch with us on Instagram, because we still want to talk to you guys all the time. We'll still be on there like posting things. So but yeah, if you've missed out on like as if you're like behind on loads of our episodes, because obviously we've got loads, this episode 92, then these next 2 weeks are a perfect time to catch up on maybe some episodes that you've not listened to before. But we'll be back on the 1st of September, Wednesday 1st of September, for Finding Your Feet, new school term, and we can't wait. But
Come all fresh in new uniforms.
Yeah.
New stationery.
Yeah, amazing. But thank you for joining us. And if you want to keep in touch with us as well on emails, we send out a email every Monday morning with a like positive, high vibe email, like no spam, no marketing, just like some food for thought. Like, you know, it's going to get you feeling good. It's going to get you thinking. We send out every Monday morning. So if you want to like keep in touch with us in your email inbox, then just subscribe to our mailing list. The link is in the show notes. We get amazing feedback on the emails. So join our famous Monday emails.
Yeah, it's like kick up the ball on Monday morning to get you thinking.
Literally. And if you've been like wanting to delve more into meditation, or if you've been looking for affirmation playlists, like things to boost your self-love, all of that stuff, you can get all of that on our website. We have a range of meditations and digital affirmation playlists, all planned, recorded by us, with really nice relaxing music behind them, so that you can, you know, delve deeper into meditating, or play your positive affirmations when you wake up in the morning. Like I have mine set as like my alarm on my phone, so like when they play, it starts playing like calming music and like positive affirmations, you know, to get me going in the morning. If you want anything like that, we've got a whole range of them on our website to download digitally, findingyourfeetpodcast.com. The link is in the show notes. And we can't wait to see you on the 1st of September.
We cannot. Also, our most popular affirmation is the personalized one, because that's the one that I put on every morning, because you can tell us what your goals are and what you want to achieve, what you want to work on, and we will create the affirmation for you. And then in the morning you wake up and you're like, yes, I can do this. And we're speaking straight to your soul.
So they hit different. Hit different. But yeah, thanks for listening, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Bye.